A very good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to News Tonight. Let's have a look at the headlines. Campaigns for LC1 candidates close as elections set in for tomorrow. Electoral Commission prepared for tomorrow's LC1 elections, while members of Parliament welcome the nomination of Olaro Tunu for the UN Secretary General job. Right, we went there. We thank you so much for tuning in. It's UBC News Tonight, the second edition. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. Elizabeth Nakakoni joins in for sign language interpretation. With just hours to the start of the LC1 elections, the Electoral Commission has told the media about their preparedness to conduct the nationwide exercise. The Commission says that electoral materials, including voter verification books, declaration forms, and other essential polling equipment, have been delivered to districts.
Following the successful conclusion of the nomination exercise for Local Council 1 candidates, the Electoral Commission says all is set for tomorrow's nationwide elections across 71,214 village polling centers.
The staff of the Electoral Commission are available at the 71,214 village centers where these elections are going to take place. The materials for use are in place, the registers are in place, and now what we await is the D-Day tomorrow, starting at 7 a.m., where only registered voters in your village, where you registered, will show up to vote for their LC1 chairperson.
The Electoral Commission has appealed to all the eligible voters and the public to participate peacefully and respect the outcome of the elections, describing the LC1 polls as a vital foundation for grassroots democracy.
The EC does not organize chaos. The EC does not organize violence. The EC organizes an orderly process, and it appeals to actors to act in an orderly manner in accordance with the provisions of the law and the guidelines.
According to the EC spokesperson, Julius Muchunguzi, all polling materials have been dispatched, security personnel deployed, and measures put in place to prevent any cases of double and underage voting, assuring voters of a smooth, peaceful, and transparent exercise. He also emphasized that clear guidelines have been issued to electoral officials to ensure each village conducts only one election in accordance with the law, and urged the public to stick to its guidelines regardless of their status.
From 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., that period is a period for verification of voters on the voters register. From 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., the staff of the Electoral Commission at that village center will conduct voter education. Then from 11 to 11:30, that is the critical period for lining up, where candidates will stand in front and their supporters will line up behind them.
He also warned against electoral offences, including violence, voter intimidation, and spreading misinformation, noting that anyone found disrupting the process will face the law.
Voters and all the other actors should be their first police persons. They should first and foremost adhere to the rules. If there is adherence to the rules and guidelines, there will be no need for use of any force.
Charity Marion Imnat and Sananet reporting for UBC News.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, through the office of the National Chairman of the NRM, has called upon all Ugandans to turn up in big numbers and vote for LC1 chairpersons tomorrow, the 28th of July, 2026.
Tuesday, July 28th, Ugandans will head to elect their village local council 1 leaders in an exercise that will strengthen grassroots democracy. The elections will give residents an opportunity to choose leaders who will coordinate government programs, resolve community disputes, and represent the interests of their villages for the next 5 years.
To come in huge numbers so that you are in position to vote for your rightful chairperson. No one is supposed to intimidate you. because we are all Ugandans. You have to be keen to whatever is going to happen at your village, because the first development comes from your village. We have gotten incidents whereby people didn't arrive in time. Why go to sleep when there is a vote at stake? You're voting for a president of your village.
The chairman of the National Resistance Movement and the president, through his office, has advised voters to report to the polling stations as early as 7 a.m., vote wisely, and reject leaders who promote land grabbing, corruption, or division.
Call upon the security of Uganda, the Uganda police especially. Last time you did us justice during the women councils. This time round, we are voting for a president of our village. You're voting for the president of your village, one who is going to run your village. Kindly, security or the IGP, kindly avail us with more manpower on the ground, because we have villages that are so violent, and of which these particular villages need maximum security or extra security to ensure that there is no violence in that particular village.
Hajat Namialo also cautioned senior NRM leaders against interfering in the electoral process.
Our work is to protect the vote. Our work is not to engage in electoral malpractices. We are supposed to leave the vote, ensure the vote, secure the vote.
She warned that ONC coordinators deployed across the country are responsible for mobilization and monitoring, not conducting or influencing the elections.
The Human Rights Commission has urged Ugandans to respect the Electoral Commission's guidelines and peacefully participate in the forthcoming LC1 elections, as it reaffirmed its commitment to protecting human rights. The Commission also announced that the Joint Democratic Platform has officially become one of its stakeholders.
The chairperson of the Uganda Human Rights Commission, Mariam Wangadya, has met leaders of the Joint Democratic Platform at the Commission headquarters in Kampala. She called upon citizens to observe Electoral Commission regulations, reject violence, and encourage wider community participation in LC1 elections.
I therefore call upon every political party represented here, and even the ruling National Resistance Movement Party, to encourage your members, supporters, and candidates to participate in these elections peacefully, respect the electoral laws and procedures, reject violence, intimidation, and provocation, and accept the outcome.
Wangadya has also said the Joint Democratic Platform has formally become a stakeholder of the Uganda Human Rights Commission, which will strengthen engagement with different political actors in promoting and protecting human rights.
The Joint Democratic Platform is our key stakeholder. We will issue a communication on the issues you've raised today in due course. In the meantime, we look forward to further engagement.
During the meeting, leaders from 8 political parties submitted a petition alleging enforced disappearances, unlawful arrests, and restrictions on political gatherings and growing military involvement in civilian affairs.
The Uganda People's Defense Forces, the Uganda Police, the Uganda Prisons, and the Intelligence Services, and the National Security Council to observe and respect human rights and freedoms in the performance of their duties and functions.
To give assurance to the country, because the people who would like to come and make their reports here are in a total fear.
Guarantees the right to life under Article 22. The Constitution also recognizes the special rights of children under Article 34.
Shiba Nanteza, reporting for UBC.
Uganda's villages are set to become centers of democracy as residents line up behind their preferred LC1 candidates. The Uganda Human Rights Commission calls upon all registered voters to participate in the grassroots elections. Commissioner Crispin Kaheru says that leaders chosen at village level will shape the daily lives of communities.
All residents will gather on Tuesday, July 28th, to make choices in Uganda's LC1 election. Unlike other elections conducted through secret ballots, LC1 polls will be an open lining up system. The Uganda Human Rights Commission says these leaders will remain the closest link between citizens and government.
When there is a land dispute, when there is a domestic violence case, when a theft occurs, when there is a missing child, when a community emergency happens or a neighborhood disagreement, the first call is often the LC1.
Beyond tomorrow's vote, the Commission wants citizens to remain engaged with their leaders and actively participate in improving their communities.
Only strong villages can build a strong nation. And after the elections, don't stop there. Take your local council one chairperson's phone number, know all your village leaders, build or join the village WhatsApp group where possible. These simple ways of connection make it easier to share information.
Today we have to see change. The LC1 elections on Tuesday will last only a few hours, but the leaders chosen will carry the responsibility of guiding communities for 5 years.
Elections come and go, but neighbors remain neighbors. So it's important that we compete peacefully, we accept the outcome with maturity, and continue building our communities together.
For the Uganda Human Rights Commission, a stronger Uganda begins with informed choices, this time at village level. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The NRM chairman, President Yoweri Museveni, has intensified his appeal to independent candidates within the party to step down in favor of officially endorsed candidates. The message has been delivered by his senior presidential advisor, Peace Rugambwa.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ategeere nti abantu be bamwagala ate amanyire ddala nti delivery service gyagenda okuteeka wansi abantu bagenda okugiwa bamukiririzaamu. Ku luno LOCs tugenda kujjayo 85% kubanga kalulu nakanoonyeza mu nkuba mu musana mu ekiro buli saawa yonna nakati nina meeting endala gyengendamu noonya akalulu. So gyensonga lwaki tunoonya akalulu districts zonna tunoonya akalulu ka NRM kubanga twetaaga abantu bave mu bwavu ate twetaaga President Museveni kyayogera ku luno kituukiri n'alaba byakola mu struggle nga talina kyafunamu kyuka bulungi.
I want to welcome you to this office, and also I want to thank you so much because the elections of the president, you supported this region and to this region, and we pray that God gives you more blessings.
Amen.
And I ask God, who brought you into this position, He will continue to lead you and you achieve more into your life.
Amen.
Like the trending word of Gumite, that we in Tungamu, we are Gumite on him. Kindly deliver our message. Thank you so much.
Minister for Local Government Bala Barugahara and Justin Namere, the State Minister, have launched the Expose the Corrupt campaign in Greater Masaka sub-region. He was with the State Minister for Primary Health Care Hanifa Bangirana Kawoya on the 5-day campaign that has commenced from Masaka City.
The two ministers of local government, Bala Barugahara and Justin Namere, have kicked off the anti-corruption drive for Greater Masaka. Received by the Masaka City Mayor, they were joined by the State Minister for Primary Health, Hanifa Kawoya.
Now I am even in this place because I come from Greater Masaka.
Although Masaka City is politically led by the National Unity Platform Party through Mayor Florence Namanja, the reception was worth acknowledging. The mayor's communication raised challenges arising from the delayed operationalization of Masaka City at the construction of its headquarters. However, Minister Namere and Balam objected the allocation of shilling 14 billion towards the headquarters construction.
Honorable Namere, like I said earlier, we are going to visit the site of the headquarters, look at the plan, then I will guide them on the maximum amount. Should not exceed.
The field tours kicked off from St. Mary's Mirembe Primary School in Nyendo Mukungwe sub-county.
I'm going to give you 1,100,000 from President Museveni. It is from President Museveni. I will come back here tomorrow to confirm you have uniform.
The team also visited Tabukur Senior Secondary School to assess the learning conditions.
These are students confiding in a senior minister. You cannot start telling them, ask them, you, did I ever? No, please. Don't do it while we are here, even while we are.
The questions were asked. Some answers were not satisfying.
Another problem we are finding in this school is those. It already seems to
and the RCC, make sure these children speaking out are protected.
The ministers toured the construction site for a state secondary school, with the concerns of delays being one of the concerns.
The quarters are this side.
Yeah, how many?
Yes, they are 3.
What's the contract value? 3.6 billion.
And you are finishing in 10 months.
I'm curious to know, when was this contract awarded to you?
The local government ministers were also unexpected visitors at Nyendo Mukungwe Health Center Free.
Madam, what's your name? Nachu what? You are an employee paid by government here? You're not on this list.
I have not met anyone in the church.
Like you mentioned, you had 3 volunteers in this health center 3. There were 4. Why didn't you consider them and you brought other people from elsewhere who have not been volunteering?
The residents also complained about the substandard roadworks along Misali Nyendo roads. In Misali, one local resident was arrested after the community pointed at her for being behind unlawful evictions.
Wamenye nyumba number 1. Wawambie nyumba y'omukazi noteka mwezi ji noteka. Okay, mtwala yambale. You can let's take her.
The first day field ended from Masaka Recreation Stadium, which is being constructed in the heart of the city.
This is 12 billion. So far the contractor has been paid 11.5, but he has mobilized everything for the pitch. The turf is there. Other materials are inside there. Everything for the pitch has been mobilized.
So the yewana amazzi agazimbe kisawe bagakimisa wilibaru. Australia no sanga ngamazi agenda okusimba ekisawe bagakimisa wilibaru.
Are you serious?
Yes. Bagasimisa wilibaru.
Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Minister for ICT and National Guidance Justin Kasule Lubumba has revealed that government is expanding national backbone infrastructure by an additional of 5,800 kilometers to ensure every Ugandan is connected. Speaking to local leaders in Bujiri and Namaingo districts, she noted that the expansion is part of the country's digital transformation agenda aimed at bridging the digital divide.
The minister revealed plans by the ministry to leverage artificial intelligence to support agriculture. She said that everyone in the village will eventually have access to a phone that farmers can use to get information on agriculture.
In our development plan 4, the issue of digital transformation. And under digital transformation, we are extending the NBI, the national backbone, we are adding on more 5,800 kilometers so that we bring everybody on board. But most importantly, in this AI era, we want to take advantage of AI to find solutions, to offer solutions to the ordinary person at the household level. As government, we will have to come up with the ideas, maybe even have a smartphone on every village. When somebody is growing, like in this place, our people mostly grow cassava and sugar cane. So if somebody has his or her garden, can take a picture of the plants, and AI will be able to tell that person the disease or whether the crops are okay. And if there is a disease,
district leaders welcomed the announcement, saying it will help improve service delivery and livelihoods. The National Union of Persons with Disabilities in Uganda, in collaboration with Uganda Communications Commission, say that all people must be computer literate.
They have been using the relatives, and for them they have not been having access to this system. And this time I want to assure the country that Namaingo Disability Fraternity will be able for them to make transaction, to make their business, to run their activities using the system.
But with that training, we see that at least people with visual impairments can also still use these technologies with different assistive technologies that we are going to be training them. And for the mobile phones, there are also very many technologies and assistive features that they can use to enable them also participate in the digital economy.
The Inspector General of Government, Justice Aisha Naruze, has questioned whether Ugandans are getting value for money from the delayed Busega-Mpigi Expressway project after years of implementation. Rising costs and repeated extensions pushed the completion deadline to December 2028. During a meeting with officials from the Ministry of Works and Transport, the IGG said that the inspectorate is concerned that the prolonged delays have undermined value for public investment.
Officials attributed the delays to prolonged procurement, the COVID-19 pandemic, land acquisition disputes, design changes and delays in securing additional financing.
We began our investigations about 2 weeks ago on the Busega-Mpigi Expressway. So along the way we encountered so many issues that were coming from the engineers on why they changed the previous route that was agreed to for the expressway. They had a lot of justifications which I'll not go into. The engineers will go into that. So we felt it important to come on ground to really find out what was actually happening and the progress of the project.
They maintained that the revised scope of works is intended to improve the functionality and safety of the expressway.
I cannot conclusively answer that. I think we need to do a value for money audit. We are not experts in that, but I think we'll need to do that. So far what we have seen on ground, it is only the experts that can advise us if it falls within the previously agreed budget of 600 billion.
The Inspectorate of Government team later inspected the project site where engineers explained the redesign, including additional interchanges, a relocated toll plaza and an underpass to accommodate the standard gauge railway while improving access to surrounding communities.
But definitely there's not much work going on ground because of the the additional funds that are required for the project. Having revised the project from 600 billion to 1.3 billion, I think the engineers have informed us that the side approvals went through cabinet, then through parliament, and were approved, but waiting to sign the addendum. And without funds, definitely the contractor is not doing much.
Project officials said construction is currently 47% physically complete and 49% financially complete, with compensation of project-affected persons continuing as works progress. For UBC News, I am Sudat Kaye.
Police have embarked on reviewing the operations of the National Cleaning Day following public complaints about the alleged high-handedness of some police officers. While addressing the weekly police media briefing, police spokesperson Soke Kituma reiterated that isolated incidents will be handled appropriately to safeguard the objective of promoting hygiene.
Police have commended territorial police commanders for the successful enforcement of the National Cleaning Day of Saturday, July 25th.
The very many police officers who were deployed and other security officers from other agencies, UPDF and all other agencies that participated, they did a very tremendous job, but equally the people were compliant.
The force is reviewing the nationwide enforcement exercise to assess and identify gaps in order to improve future operations.
When we have such operations, we also have the after-operation review engagements within ourselves, where we find we fell short of certain public or public expectations. We always go back on the drawing board and correct them.
Members of the public who feel were mistreated during the exercise have been urged to report the matter to the police for professional redress.
Just disrupt the process because they realize that they are losing. Now all those we are warning, we shall deal with you.
With only hours remaining before the polls, the public has been urged to comply with the laws and avoid unlawful processions and adhering to the Electoral Commission's standard operating procedures.
The timetable is clear. There has been an interaction between the Electoral Commission and the electorate. There has been very good communication, time and again, on all platforms. Communities have been engaged. We do not want to see campaigns tomorrow.
During the July 23rd Women Council elections, several incidents of violence were reported and numerous complaints were lodged. However, no official accountability has yet been provided on those incidents. Abdul Nasser Lubwama and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
A nationwide cleanup exercise may have left streets looking cleaner, but it also raised an important question: where does all the waste go? Following the 2024 Kitezi landfill disaster, waste from Kampala is now being transported to the Buyala Solid Waste Management Facility, where authorities hope to build a safer and more sustainable waste management system. Access to Buyala remains highly restricted.
Thanks for... On 25th July 2026, the government rolled out a nationwide cleanup exercise calling upon all citizens to participate in cleaning their communities. Large volumes of waste were collected at designated collection points across the country. In Kampala, heaps of uncollected waste remained in several areas, raising concerns over disposal. Some of the waste was left along roadsides as authorities worked to clear the city.
Our 30 trucks are evacuating garbage. We have gotten partners, our contractors who have given us 40-ton trucks, about 15 of them now, that are ferrying. We are fueling them and they are helping us ferry waste out of the city. We have gotten the UPDF that has come on board. They have given us trucks that are also evacuating. The Ministry of Works gave us some 3 7-ton trucks, and they are also ferrying waste out of the city.
All sorts of construction materials by recycling all these products. They're already there. Studies are underway. Some have already started in small ways, but they're going to become bigger.
According to the residents residing in the area, the landfill has created employment opportunities for many of them who are able to earn a living. However, they do argue that the Kampala Capital City Authority has taken quite long without ensuring that the modern facility is realized as promised by the government of Uganda after the incident that befell the people in Chitezi. We were able to access the area, but we were not allowed to film. However, I managed to get some videos that ably show that the garbage heap is mounting up, similar to that we witnessed in Chitezi.
The reason Chitezi was like a mountain is because the old model was that it was just a collection point. Now that is not the same model in Buyala.
It's coming to 2.5 years, 3 years. We don't see any outcomes. Was it a lie? Was it a continuous promise? To the people in the KCCA office, please, you better wake up, come and fulfill what you promised.
These people, we are even willing to acquire more space around for those who feel like they might be affected. But this is going to be a different dumping site. It's not even a dumping site. This one is no longer a dumping site. This one is going to be like a factory. Trash goes like raw materials. And soon, trash will become probably something people want to sell.
As Kampala continues to generate tons of waste, the success of the Buyala facility will depend on efficient collection and disposal and on investment in recycling and waste value addition. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
Poor garbage disposal is a public health concern when heaps of uncollected waste litter roadsides, markets and residential areas. Health experts warn that the situation is increasing the risk of disease outbreaks, environmental pollution and flooding.
Just days after Ugandans participated in the national cleaning exercise, there are emerging concerns over the return of poorly managed garbage in many parts of Kampala and surrounding areas.
The biggest challenge is that we went in and collected a lot of waste, a lot of chunks of waste than we anticipated. You take, for instance, all the divisions of Kampala, all the, the day of cleaning, every road had a huge heap of waste. The KCCA has been collecting and disposing of this waste, but I think they were overpowered. Nobody saw this amount of waste coming through individual homes, those public places. But actually, it's a huge amount of waste. We have galvanized our efforts together with KCCA. We have, I think, a number of other ministries are coming on board, like Ministry of Works. So we hope that in a few days, all the streets, all the east west will be fully evacuated and safely disposed of. It's a lesson. It's a problem to have this waste gathered on the streets, but for me, I take it as a very positive problem, because then how would we have known that we have all this waste seated with us? So now we know. It is going to inform our next round of things as we plan the next Saturday cleaning, national cleaning. We will hopefully be much more prepared.
The spread of diseases such as cholera, typhoid, dysentery and malaria.
Waste is a vector. It can be a medium for which many of these diseases can be transmitted. So if it's not disposed of and you have heavy rains coming, it will be showered down and washed down into the drains. It's going to drain, it will block the drainage channels. It will also end into the water sources, and eventually, what happens. This waste has a lot of chemicals in them. Some of it is very hazardous. So if it gets into water sources, it will end up actually causing a bigger problem.
Authorities urge the public to separate household waste, avoid indiscriminate dumping and support community sanitation. Public health officials say maintaining a clean environment is everybody's responsibility, emphasizing that proper garbage disposal is one of the most effective ways of preventing disease outbreaks and protecting communities.
So as Ugandans, I think the message is clear that we need to love our nation. We need to love ourselves. We need to love what we do, because once we love ourselves, that's when we are going to ensure that we live in a clean and a healthy environment.
Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu ya kusabula. Mikono juu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. What we need is the power to do it our way. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition. A network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lomé, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with clean, quiet, relentless movement. This is Africa, powered by us.
Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. It's News Tonight. The Anti-Corruption Court in Kampala has issued a warrant of arrest against Stella Itute, the office supervisor of the Sergeant at Arms at Parliament, to answer charges related to embezzlement of Parliament money. Grade 1 Magistrate Esther Simwa issued a warrant of arrest against Itute following a request by the prosecution led by Brenda Chimbugwe. This was when the matter against Chris Obore and co-accused came up for mention. Although all the accused were in court, Stella Itute, the office supervisor of the Sergeant at Arms at Parliament, who is still at large, did not appear in court. Magistrate Asimwe ordered any police officer in Uganda to arrest Stella Itute upon sight and bring her to court. Itute is wanted on charges of embezzling 75 million shillings. The 8 are jointly charged on a string of corruption-related charges, including embezzlement, money laundering, and causing financial loss amounting to more than 27 billion shillings. Chris Obore and co-accused have been further remanded to government prison until the 10th of August 2026 as investigations continue. Mayors of Uganda's cities and city divisions have formed an umbrella body aimed at strengthening service delivery and addressing challenges affecting local governments. The association, known as the City Division Mayors Association, brings together city and division leaders who say they want to improve coordination and ensure residents receive better services.
Division mayors have introduced a new leadership, with Malone Avotia, the mayor of Aivu Division in Arua City, elected as the chairperson of the association. The leaders made the announcement during a meeting held at Popo Memorial Hotel in Rubaga Division.
Today, 23rd of July 2026, with the support of the colleague division mayors, 20 of them, the town clerks, I have been elected as the chair for City Division Mayors and the Town Clerks Association in Uganda, of which the membership includes our speakers and our treasurer of the respective local governments.
Big moment and a very important moment today, because some of us who have been mayors in these divisions previously have seen some problems, and we expect that the formation of this association will have to correct some issues.
was formed mainly to handle the issue of allowances, especially for the councillor.
The association says one of the major challenges facing city divisions is the limited authority and resources, as most power remains concentrated at city level.
As divisions, we are supposed to receive road equipment, we are supposed to receive garbage money, garbage trucks, but as I told now, our towns is in a sort of stage, we don't have the garbage money, the garbage trucks, we don't have the equipment for the roads and the garbage. This activity, the leaders that are mentioned for this meeting will pick the message from the minister, but for us, we shall not have the message. We feel through this association, we should be heard.
The chairperson appealed to the Prime Minister to provide clear guidance on the relationship between municipality authorities and city divisions.
Government should, especially the Parliament, should give we should amend the Constitution. If possible, we should have a city act which specifically provide for all those in the act as city.
Going to meet the president, we are going to meet the line minister, we are going to meet the prime minister, even the speaker, to see that the operationalization of the city divisions are given effect.
All other higher offices listen to our voice and we move on. And plus other areas where the chairperson has hinted.
The leaders have also called upon the Attorney General to interpret Section 4 of the Local Governments Act, Cap 138, which they say recognizes city divisions on allocation of resources.
Municipalities have road equipment which they use for road maintenance and road opening. The city divisions don't. And as a matter of fact, the city divisions came as a result of amalgamation of former sub-counties that were next to join the former municipalities from these cities.
Youth leaders in Karamoja want affirmative action in education and agriculture to end the recurring problems in Karamoja sub-region. They said this during the second edition of Karamoja Regional Youth Parliament held in Moroto Municipality.
The second edition of Karamoja Regional Youth Parliament started with voting for the Speaker and Deputy by 33 Karamoja youth leaders. During the sitting, youth cited insecurity, high levels of poverty, hunger, climate change, and poor mindset towards education as one of the major challenges.
In some counties, you find that children are moving from one sub-county to another in search of education. For example, in the Vin district, you find someone moving all the way from the Opopo sub-county and then they're moving to Nyakwai, looking for secondary school. So in the days that it rains, a child maybe does not go to school.
Few schools which are existing, but you find that our own are not in school. Reason being, our parents, the parents have that fear that if a young girl goes to school to study, the person will either become a prostitute, get a child. It is actually the people outside Karamoja again who are utilizing the opportunity than our own people in the region.
Instead, we don't have power. How can we talk about even digitalization of those schools right now?
They called for installation of irrigation schemes to boost agricultural production.
Let the government specifically fund projects that are looking at irrigation systems in Karamoja sub-region, because there is diverse land, there is enough land. People can give in their acres as a family, as a clan, and the
government to come in with initiatives like solar powered irrigation.
We also want government actually to embrace more of, let's see, innovative kind of modern ways of agriculture. In Karamoja, we cannot continue going for annuals, yet the laborers themselves.
Barriers to youth inclusion that we identified is that the platforms where key discussions are happening exclude the young people. And that is why we came up with an innovation of the Youth Parliament. The Youth Parliament is a platform where young people of the Karamoja region can come together.
Kayese organized the Karamoja Regional Parliament.
Funding from the Royal Danish Embassy, the embassies of Ireland, Sweden, and
The Rotaract Club of Kira and Najera have launched a livelihood initiative to improve food security and encourage self-reliance for vulnerable children at Georgia Flora Children's Home in Wakiso District. Dubbed Roots of Hope, the project focuses on sustainable food production through rabbit rearing, kitchen gardening, and other income-generating activities.
Over the years, Georgia Flora Children's Home relied on donations from well-wishers to feed and care for more than 54 vulnerable children. To reduce this dependence, the Rotaract Clubs of Chira and Nigeria have introduced the Roots of Hope project to provide a sustainable source of food and income for this home.
This is a joint project that was thought about between two clubs, the Rotaract Club of Chira and the Rotaract Club of Nigeria. And what are we doing today? Today we are donating rabbits to the orphanage, and we are also giving them a rabbit cage. So we are trying to address the problem of food shortage. These are children who live on handouts.
The first phase of the project involves establishing a rabbit rearing unit for nutrition and income. Future phases will include fruit orchards, vegetable gardens, and other agricultural activities.
This initiative, we're enabling the Georgia Flora Home to be able to have a sustainable source of food and also extra income by selling some of that.
When we hold together each other and we put smiles on these little ones.
We encourage partnerships between clubs, and additionally it helps us pool resources to be able to cater for these children. Today we bought, among others, rabbits so that they can do rabbit farming, as well as clothes, some toys for the children in an effort to improve their livelihoods.
Management of Georgia Flora Children's Home say the intervention is timely.
Thank the Rotaract Club of Chira.
Uganda is facing a growing cataract blindness crisis, with research indicating that cataracts are among the leading causes of blindness in the country. Direct Aid Society Uganda has organized a 5-day cataract surgery camp at Adjumani General Hospital.
Adjumani is one of Uganda's largest refugee hosting districts, but faces challenges associated with a large refugee population, including pressure on food, water, and health services. Cataract blindness is a concern in the community, leaving many people dependent on family members for their daily needs. Direct Aid Society Uganda, in partnership with the government of Uganda, has organized a 5-day cataract surgery camp targeting more than 500 beneficiaries.
So we call upon our patients and the community at large to come in large numbers to benefit from this service.
Adjumani District Resident Commissioner Toko Swaib called upon residents to utilize the free services.
Many of these people are still, some of them are youth, who are still in their active age of actually providing services, productive age. And if they run blind because of such problems, that means they cannot perform their tasks to their fullest capacities. So we are very grateful to Direct Aid for coming up with this program.
The Adjumani District LOC 5 chairperson, Anyanzo John Ambayo, says the initiative will restore the sight of beneficiaries, enabling them to regain their independence and improve their quality of life.
A number of our district hospitals have a number of challenges as far as offering the best services to our health workers. Cases can be diagnosed here, but they are
whether an old or young. But of course, the medical staff, they prefer that always. If someone is very old, the surgery will not be 100% successful. But also we have to go for that unless the advice of the medical staff that cannot be done. And from Adjumani, we are extending it to Marasha district this time. The number which is targeted here around like 400 and 100 or more in Marasha for this camp.
Winnie Nalusiba reporting for UBC TV.
Mental health experts have called for mental health education integration into Uganda's school curriculum, warning that rising cases of substance abuse among young people require early intervention to reduce addiction, stigma, and related crimes.
Speaking at the launch of the book Hope in the Struggle, Finding Strength in Recovery, authored by clinical psychologist and addiction specialist Grace Bikumbi, Butabika National Referral Hospital Executive Director Dr. Juliet Naku said schools should embed mental health awareness in learning programs to help learners identify mental health challenges and seek help early.
Increasingly, we are seeing some schools actually that have a lot of use of drugs. So when you send your child there, you will expect that that exposure will cause them to use drugs and probably get into an addiction. So you should look for your schools carefully. And I'm saying this without fear.
Experts noted that addiction recovery remains difficult because of the persistent stigma, adding that up to 70% of the young people have experienced some form of addiction.
Sometimes when you're talked to by someone or when you do certain things, that healing happens a little faster and it doesn't leave scars.
Prevention is better than cure. Why? Because when we look down in the community, when we go down to the society and we remove stigma from people, they'll get better and they'll be able to see that they access healthy mental health is wealth.
Stakeholders also called for full implementation of Uganda's substance control laws to curb drug abuse.
We are not saying that don't produce these things, but let us have some regulation on how they are produced and their use.
Recovery is a role for all of us, not just the individual who is impacted.
We thank you so much for watching. We'll take a very short break. Keep it with us.
MTN voice bundle. Ay. Load. Hey. Hello, Mama. Hey, it is me, your son, Opio. Hey, now, Mama, listen to me. MTN has the offer. Yes, it has the offer. You load from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now they have free MTN to MTN minutes. And those minutes are there all day. So you load, you'll thank me later. Hey, Mama.
Load an MTN voice bundle between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and get 3 free MTN to MTN minutes valid all day. Dial *100 *21# and get your free minutes bully daily. Free your fire with free minutes from MTN. Together, our connection is unstoppable. MTN.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. We never have. What we need is the power to do it our way, to move our people, our goods, our ideas across cities that breathe with our energy. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition, a network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lomé, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with clean, quiet, relentless movement. Every swap keeps the city running. Every ride links one life to another. We're copying no one else's future. It's we who powers the cities we live in. It's we who shapes the world they'll become. This is Africa, powered by us.
All right, listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
The Uganda People's Defense Forces invites you to the second edition of the UPDF CDF Inter-Forces Drill Competition. Join us on Tuesday, 25th August 2026 at the Kololo Ceremonial Grounds for an electrifying showcase of precision drill, synchronized formations, discipline, and military excellence. Under the theme Precision, Discipline, and Cohesion, Pillars of National Resilience and Transformation. Witness UPDF formations battle for the coveted Inter-Forces Drill Championship. Who will take the crown? Will it be the Land Forces, Air Force, Special Forces Command, Field Artillery, Motorized Infantry, Marines Brigade, Directorate of Women Affairs, Military Police, or one of the 1st to 5th divisions? The event will be presided over by the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. For more information, call 0392 947 455.
Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. The Commonwealth Games, in business news, efforts to empower young people through entrepreneurship and financial inclusion have received a boost after several organizations partnered to equip youth with practical business skills in Nakawa Division. The initiative focused on financial literacy, business registration, and access to affordable financing under the Safe and Inclusive Cities project.
Across Uganda, small and medium enterprises are the heartbeat of local economies. They create jobs, process agricultural produce, support families, and keep communities thriving. Yet for many years, one challenge continued to hold thousands of businesses back. In Anaka Town Council, Noya District, Camp Feeds experienced these challenges firsthand.
As we were running this factory, the transformers, the generator would do at the beginning of the machines. The generator would have a sound which shows that it is overloaded at the start of machine. Generators are overloaded.
Stories like Ernest's are echoed across Uganda. Recognizing that many enterprises were ready to grow but constrained by a lack of electricity, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development launched the Small and Medium Enterprises Priority Project.
The next phase of Uganda's transformation is not simply about generating more electricity. It is about ensuring that every unit of energy produced is used for productive enterprises, supports industrialization, creates jobs.
The initiative targets what the ministry describes as low-hanging fruit businesses that are already operating, already creating jobs, and already serving their communities, but require reliable electricity to unlock their full potential.
Like maize meal, coffee hara for those people who grow coffee in their areas, milk cooler, saloon, and some of them they are much bigger, like in tea growing areas. You have tea factories, so we categorize all these under SMEs. Not forgetting welders.
Implemented under a 3-year framework, the project is being rolled out across districts nationwide.
What we've been doing is on a small scale. We want to take it to a bigger scale. And indeed, we have identified a lot more SMEs, and we are packaging them into a standalone project that even we can secure dedicated funding. That's what we're looking at, that it will be a dedicated funding for just SMEs.
The project also complements initiatives such as the Parish Development Model by creating an environment where enterprises can thrive, incomes can grow, and communities can prosper.
And before using generators, only the fuel, we're using 33 to 35 millions every month. So we are bleeding before. Current now we can breathe in.
We are going to have here a factory, a unique factory that will be making feeds for fish, since we have the ponds you are seeing down there. The feeds for fish, number one, feeds for animals, number 2, then feeds for chicken. All will be made from here.
Through the Small and Medium Enterprises Priority Project, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development is connecting businesses, empowering communities, and powering Uganda's future, one connection at a time.
That was our story about the Ministry of Energy's development program that they are rolling out to support small and medium enterprises with an aim of boosting investment and entrepreneurship to support the economy. We'll now go to our story of efforts to empower young people through entrepreneurship and financial inclusion that have received a boost after several organizations that have partnered to keep the youth with practical business skills in Nakawa Division.
The Agribusiness Network has convened a youth empowerment meeting to equip youth with practical knowledge on entrepreneurship, financial management, business registration, and access to financial services skills. The finance officer at the Africa Agribusiness Network, Jenny Vanessa Nakaziwe, says the program seeks to empower young women to start, manage and grow sustainable businesses.
Most young people struggle to start up their businesses due to finances. They don't have money to pay for licenses, so that's why they are always like on the roadside. The purpose of this grant is to empower them so that they can move away from the roadsides. Our organization has more than 300 women entrepreneurs on all the value chains of agriculture. We have farmers, exporters, producers. So basically, the organization deals in helping women in agribusiness access finances.
She encourages young people aged between 14 and 30 years to enroll in the Safe and Inclusive Cities project.
Youth in businesses, and we are trying to empower them. We are going to give them a small amount of money to inject into their businesses so that we can see them grow from a point where they are now to businesses that are going to be big businesses in the future.
Meanwhile, Caroline Bachawa from Pride Bank explained that the financial institution is working closely with young entrepreneurs by encouraging them to open bank accounts, improve their financial discipline.
As a bank, we are here to ensure that we support these young people to upscale and grow their business. Reach out to our branches and open a youth account. The youth account is a very friendly account for young people 18 to 30. The public, this is in partnership with government to ensure that we have food security for this country, both for human beings but also for animals.
From Uganda Registration Services Bureau, Lydia Nanono urged entrepreneurs to formally register their businesses.
Some of the benefits that you will have to enjoy after registration of your business, you will have to have access to the financial facilities. Government has different facilities like Myoga, Grow Money.
Participants say the training.
The Presidential Assistant on Service Delivery and Monitoring, Yigachi Sachamukama, has built a thriving commercial farming enterprise in Gomba district and is encouraging the young people to follow suit.
From goat rearing and dairy farming to coffee, bananas and forestry, Yigachi Sachamukama says his investments are practical demonstration of the President's wealth creation message. Speaking during a tour of his farms in Gomba district, Chisachamukama said he started with just 30 goats and now owns 150 with a target of expanding to 600. The enterprises include a livestock farm, eucalyptus plantation, coffee and banana gardens, as well as a dairy farm producing about 200 liters of milk daily. The projects also provide employment for local residents.
nina abakozi 5 abakozi abanneetoolodde nze nzekka emirimu gye ngaba bali mu bakozi 30.
Chisacham Kama said his journey began as a street child before receiving education support from President Museveni, which enabled him to save money and venture into business. Beyond agriculture, he has invested in a concrete block production and hospitality to strengthen his business.
Ewantu ensobola okujjamu amagoba. Era nazze kwebaza President Museveni nti 1 embeera mu nali sibweri yansanga nga sona gula gaali yansanga nga sirina ne kyennyina mu nsi. So President atubeere.
In the world of sport, the 2026 Commonwealth Games have entered day 5, with Uganda still heavily involved.
With the action entering another day in Glasgow, Uganda's team is looking ahead with optimism. Uganda boxing team captain Nuhu Bate returns to the ring on Tuesday in arguably the biggest fight of his life, which is a quarter-final attempt to enter the medal bracket against Englishman Patrice Mugalazia.
Yeah, we came here to make history because I told you before coming here we haven't finished business. These guys working hard to see that I'm going on round of 8. I'm gonna be also performing as much hard than this one before, so Ugandans promise you that we are gonna come back in Uganda with a victory.
But before Bate returns to the ring, Alfredo Joke returns later this evening with a round of 16 contest against Englishman Dimejo Shito. Weightlifter Davis Nyoita is out of contention and regrets several issues that may have cost him, but promises better next time out.
And I wasn't well prepared due to the time of travel. I had one day of rest time, and the next day I was able to compete, but maybe that time wasn't enough for me, but I'm sure next time I will wanna make it.
So far, the netball She Cranes have won 2 games, Wales and Trinidad and Tobago, and later tonight come up against Jamaica.
So we had the last 2 games and obviously won them, and it's been very good to see the depth of our squad. Our squad has been very strong, and we had the target of trying to win all our first games and building momentum based on how we play, and meeting the bigger teams like Jamaica today, New Zealand and Scotland will be key for us to continue building on what we have been building for the last 2 games.
Also impressive thus far is the basketball 3x3 girls team of Melissa Akulo, Jamila Naskombi, Perus Nyamwenge and Jenna Sinde that has on debut made it out of the group and targets a semi-final place, but after a playoff. Ugandan interest has also continued in swimming, where Husna Kokundakwe is in the final, while in athletics Salima Nakai is in action in the 800 meters, while Joy Cheptoek, Rebecca Chelangat and Esther Chebet have their women's 10,000 meter finals that starts at 5 minutes after 10 p.m. East Africa time.
That brings us to the end of all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakon and the whole team. Wish you the best of the night and the week. Bye-bye.